ਅੱਜ ਨਾਨਕ ਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਕੈਲੰਡਰ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਜੇਠ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਤਾਰੀਖ ਹੈ।
According to the Nanak Shai calendar, today is the first day of the month of Jhet.
ਜੇਠ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਰਾਂਦ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਜੇਠ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਤੀਜਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਹੈ।
The month of Jhet is the third month of the calendar.
ਪਹਿਲਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਚੇਤ ਹੈ।
The first month is Jhet,
ਦੂਜਾ ਵਿਸਾਖ
second Vasak,
ਅਤੇ ਤੀਜਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਜੇਠ ਹੈ।
and the third month is Jhet.
ਆਪ ਜੀ ਜੇਠ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਧਮਕ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ।
And now you are listening to the prayer for the month of Jhet on Dhamak Punjab Dee Radio.
ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਰਾਗ ਮਾਝ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕੀਤਾ।
This prayer was written by Guru Arjan Dev Ji in Rag Manj.
ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਅਤੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਵੀ ਸੁਣੋਗੇ।
And today you will listen to the meaning of it in English and Punjabi.
ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਹਰ ਜੇਠ ਜੁੜਨ ਦਾ ਲੋੜੀਐ ਜਿਸ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਭ ਨਿਵਨ। ਹਰ ਸੱਜਣ ਦਾਵਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿਸੈ ਨ ਦੇ ਬੰਨ। ਮਾਣਕ ਮੋਤੀ ਨਾਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਉਨ ਲੱਗੈ ਨਾਹੀ ਸਨ। ਰੰਗ ਸਭੇ ਨਾਰਾਇਣ ਜੇਤੇ ਮਨ ਪਾਵਨ। ਜੋ ਹਰ ਲੋੜੇ ਸੋ ਕਰੇ ਸੋਇ ਜੀ ਕਰਨ। ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੀਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੇ ਕਹੀਐ ਧਨ। ਆਪਣ ਲਿਆ ਜੇ ਮਿਲੈ ਵਿਛੜ ਕਿਉਂ ਰੋਵਨ। ਸਾਧੂ ਸੰਗ ਪਰਾਪਤੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਣਨ। ਹਰ ਜੇਠ ਰੰਗੀਲਾ ਤਿਸ ਤਣੀ ਜਿਸ ਕੈ ਭਾਗ ਮਥਨ। ਹਰ ਜੇਠ ਰੰਗੀਲਾ ਤਿਸ ਤਣੀ ਜਿਸ ਕੈ ਭਾਗ ਮਥਨ। ਹਰ ਜੇਠ ਜੁੜਨ ਦਾ ਲੋੜੀਐ ਜਿਸ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਭ ਨਿਵਨ।
The word nivan means bow down before. The word sub means all. So in the month of Jhet, that Lord who all bow down before, we too should bow down. We too should bind with the feet of that Lord. The goal of human life is to bind with the feet of God. We humans have been separated from that God who protected us in our mother's womb, that God who all of creation bows down before. Gurbani tells us every single thing we see in the world is under control of that one God, that Shabad, that Hukam, that Naam. All the plants, animals, flowers, stars, everything we see, all the perfect harmony, that is the harmony that God has created. Gurbani tells us that the sun, the stars, the rivers and the wind, everything is in the fear of God. Guruji says, Pavich Jod Mahabal Sur, Pavich Ave Jave Pur, Sagliya Po Likhya Se Lek, Nanak Nirpo Nirankar.
Such ek.
So that means that all of the great warriors we see, all of the fearless men we see, all of them live in the fear of the one Lord. Every single part of creation, everything is under the fear of God. Every single being has this fear, this command of God written on their forehead. O Nanak, Nirpo means fearless, Nirankar, only that one God alone is free from this command. In Japji Sahib, Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us that the only way to reach God is by surrendering at His feet. There is no other ritual, no effort. We humans like to say, we're going to go on a fast. We're going to make a pilgrimage. We're going to clean ourselves outwardly. We're going to do this and do this. We're going to make swears. We're going to take an oath. And that'll lead us to God. But in reality, the only way to find peace is to bow down to that Lord who has everything in His hands. Since God runs everything, If we bow down to God and come under His control, then what could we fear? We'll have God's protection. So for that reason, in the month of Jhet, that Lord who controls everything, let us too take the shelter of that one God.
हर सज्जन दावण लगियां किसे न दे बन.
The word ban means to tie down, and sajjan davan, the word sajjan, means blessed friend, and it's referring to God, and tavan means like the hem of a robe. So those who grasp the hem of God's robe, those who seek God's shelter, no one else can enslave them, not even the demons of death. So the fear of death cannot even touch those who hold on to God. Not even worldly entanglements could hurt those who hold on to God. We as humans, we have a habit of getting fooled by this Maya, this vision of the world. We think it's real, and we go through pain and we go through pleasure. Who is not in pain? This whole world is in so much pain. Every day people go through their routines. By a certain age we grow numb. We just accept it as part of life. But we never take the time to surrender to God and to say, God, please help us, because God is the real treasure. And even though everyone has pain, equally God's light is inside all. So here Guruji tells us, if we tie ourselves to God, then nothing else can ever bind us. A beautiful tuk by Sant Ravidas is, Jo hum bande moh fas, hum prem bandhan tum bande. If I am tied by the rope of emotional attachment, God, I will tie you by the rope of my love. That is such a beautiful line. If we tie God with our love, if we fall at God's feet, then nothing else can make us waver in this world. What else is the blessing of falling at God's feet?
मानक मोती नाम प्रभ उन लगे नाहि सन.
When we surrender to God and bind with God, bind with the Naam, the way that people of this world gather jewels and rubies, we will get the true ruby, which is the Naam. In this day and age, people go after so much wealth, and that wealth can be stolen. And if that wealth isn't stolen, they will leave it in the end. All the houses people build, all the kids people have, every single thing that people do, all their success. When the body dies, what happens? As long as the soul is in the body, then people associate the two together. But when the soul leaves, the identity ends, and the body mingles with dust. When this happens, what happens to all those jewels? Who is there to enjoy them? Everything is gone, but the Naam of God is such a jewel that nothing can ever take it away. God's company is the biggest jewel ever. So by falling at God's feet, we obtain the true jewel of this life, the true happiness. We get God's company. And what type of happiness is God? What is the bliss of the Naam?
रंग सबे नारायण जेते मन पावन.
All of the colors and all of the flavors, all of the beautiful, wondrous miracles happen when one binds with God. All these are so beloved to the mind of the devotees. When we surrender to God and we see God, we see our soul inside of us. When we love God, when we love the Naam, Gurbani tells us that the flavor of the Naam is so blissfully delicious that upon experiencing this flavor, we forget all other tastes. Shati Amrit Pao Ek, Jako Nadar Kare. All the 36 different flavors of this world are contained in that one Lord, that one Naam. So when we meditate on God, we experience such a bliss that all the pain and all the sadness we face in this world, it seems like nothing, because we have the true happiness, the one that can never get stolen, the one that goes with us. But how do we get this happiness? It is when we realize that we are more than just our bodies. We are our souls, and that our bodies are going to die, and that the purpose of this human life is to bind with God. When we beings realize that, that is when the Naam comes inside of us.
Jo har lode so kare, soe ji karan.
And with this blessing, we realize that all these years we have been worrying for no reason. When we were in our mother's womb, in the deep fire, who provided for us? In our childhood, who gave us milk? Who gave us food? Did we ever worry when we were little about where our next meal would come from when we were infants? That Lord provides for this whole world, for the earth. That Lord, through His Hukam, through His laws, the Hukam is God's form. God is the Hukam. And God, through His Hukam form, provides for everyone. God gives the baby mother's milk. In the womb, God took care of us. God has been our friend forever. But in this life, we forgot about God. We forgot about God and became attached to Maya. Jaise ago.Often, taise bahar Maya. The way that there is fire in the mother's womb, the same way this material world which we see, it is like fire too. We go to school, we go to work, and we forget the very root of our existence. But remember, the same way that by meditating on God and by having parosa, faith, we were able to keep safe in the fire of our mother's womb, that is the only way we will swim across this world. This world is a dangerous ocean where people end up losing their lives in this gamble. They end up burning in the fire of Maya. They end up becoming hardened by this world, forgetting God, and dying in vain, just to go through more pain. But if we step back and have faith, God is closest of the close. If we just look for a friend and surrender to the Hukam, then we don't have to face this pain. We can live with the Lord. So the person who has fallen at God's feet and received the Naam, they obtain this blessing, that they realize that God is the controller of all. They realize the divine Hukam, the divine Lord, and they surrender to this Hukam, and thus they are relieved of all their pain.
Jo prab kite apne se kaiye tan.
And these blessed people, who God has made His own and given them the gift of the Naam, who does God make His own? God is like the rain. When we see rain, no matter who stands under the rain, whether they are rich or poor, evil or bad, the rain looks upon all equally. If you stand under the rain, you will get wet. The same way, God has an equal eye for all His creatures, whether we are good or bad, because in reality no one is bad. We are all slaves to materialism, to lust, anger, greed, ego, and attachment. We are all in so much pain, and this pain makes us run around like demons. But God, whether we're good or bad, whatever we've done, whether we prayed or not, if we sincerely ask God for shelter, and we come to God, just like the rain, God will not look at our mistakes, but God will love us and make us His own. But if you take a dish and you turn it upside down, then the rain can fall and that dish will never fill up. People say we don't have God's grace. Why not? God gives grace to all who go to God. That is no excuse. God never denies anyone grace. Only when we turn our hearts upside down, when we close our hearts to God, just like an upside down dish cannot get rain, it is only then that we do not receive God's grace. So this whole Bani is about surrendering to God. And Guruji tells us here, he who God makes His own, that person in this world is called blessed. They are given congratulations everywhere.
Apan liya je mila vichhad kyon rovan.
But if the being could meet God by his own efforts, meaning if we could meet God by fasting, if we could say, I'm going to do 1 billion different mantras, I'm going to say these words and these words, and upon doing those we'll meet God. If this was true, then why are so many people crying out in separation? If God could be met through keeping a fast, or through bathing outwardly, if God could be met by making a pilgrimage, or other silly rituals which we have, if God could truly be met through these rituals, then why are so many beings wandering in the wilderness? Why are so many people crying every day? The rich are crying, the poor are crying, everybody cries. You can have everything, but still your hunger is not satisfied. Why? Because only the Lord can satisfy it. And if that Lord, that jewel, was able to be met by our efforts, then why do so many cry?
Sadhu sang parapate nanak rang manan.
So how is this God met? Sadhu, the saint, the Guru, the Lord. In the company of that Lord, in that company God is met by the grace of the Lord. God is met through His own sweet grace. When we bind with the Naam, we bind with the Lord. When we seek God's shelter, that is the only way to meet God, by love and trust. We can do anything else, but all those efforts are worthless if we do not have love of God. If we keep God a stranger to us, then you could fast every month. You could walk upside down on your head to the moon. You could make that pilgrimage. You could make every single vow. But if you keep God a stranger, then how will you obtain God? You could keep every ritual. You could never look at a man or woman and stay celibate your whole life. You could live in a cardboard box. But still, if you keep God a stranger, if you do not have love for God in your heart, you could wear thousands of pounds of religious gear, thousands of pounds of bana. But still, if God is a stranger to you, if you do not love the Guru and seek His compassion, then how will you find God? So God is only met by surrendering at God's feet and seeking God's compassion.
Har Jhet rangila tistani jiska paag mathan.
O those who have such blessed destiny on their foreheads, for those this month of Jhet is so beautiful because they meet the Lord. Now when we look at this Bani of Bara Maha, which Guru Sahib has given us, the whole theme of this Bani is surrenderance to God. When we look at the beginning, Kirt karam ke vichre kar kirpa melo ram, char kunt dedes brahme, thakaye prabh ki sham. That means, by our karma, we have been separated from God. Please meet us, Lord. We have ran in every corner, all 10 directions. This means 10 directions. Parme. The word param means superstition, or ritual, or doubt. So we have run everywhere in doubt. Thakaye. Thakna. Get tired. We are so tired, God. And we have come through your sham. Sham means shelter. So the whole theme of this Bani is that we are tired of rituals. And we have come to your shelter. We're tired of fasting. We're tired of saying mantras. And God, we're just tired of this world. We are hurting, God. We don't know what else to do. So please, just like you protected us in the womb, just like you look after every single animal and creature that seeks your shelter, please, God, make us your own and look after us. The end of this Bani, Bara Maha, makes the same request. Ma divas murat pale, jisko nadar kare, nanik mange darsdan, kirpa karo hare. Guruji here tells us one important thing. We talked about Param. In this day and age, people see Bara Maha and they see Sangrand. And people have all types of Param or superstitions for Sangrand. They'll go to the Granthi and say what month it is, and they'll ask to hear it from the mouth of a man. They'll put shole or chickpeas on the Nishan Sahib, which is just ridiculous. They'll say, we can't eat meat on this day, we can't do this on this day. But Gurbani tells us, Ma divas murat pale, jisko nadar kare. So Ma means month, divas means day, and murat means moment. So at the end of this Bani, Bara Maha, Maharaj makes it clear that the month the day and the moment, all of them are good. Jisko nadar kare. That moment is good when we have God's sweet compassion. Nanak mange darstan. Guru Nanak begs for your vision, God. Kirpa karo hare. Please give me your compassion, God. So the same request at the beginning of the Bani is made at the end. Gurbani also tells us, Safal Murat Safla Kari, Jit Sache Nal Pyar. That time is so fruitful when we are in love with God. And Tithivar Seve Mugad Gavar. Only fools worship certain seconds and certain days. Here Guruji makes the same request as the beginning of the Bani, and the request that we make every day. God, please take us into your shelter. We're tired of rituals, and please give us your compassion. So now a new month has started, but every day is a new day. Like people say, it is the first day of the rest of our lives. So let's take this time to put aside everything, all our clever devices, all our siyanap, and fall at the feet of God, bind with that Lord, and then this month and every month will be beautiful for us. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.